What's going on, everyone? So we have a lot going on in our lives. We have house we're getting ready to sell, new property we're putting together, trying to get ready to build for springtime, and on top of that we have animals that we have to move over to the new property. So we are putting on a rear remote system for our Kioti CK2610 behind us here. Does have front auxiliary on already, which we have a slight problem with that on the way we want this set up. We do have a post driver that we are working on also to get done by the weekend. It is Thursday, so we gotta get all this done next couple days, and yeah, so we'll get to it. We have a rear remote kit that we bought from Kioti Parts. Comes in a box about yay big. So not that big of a box. Our parts down here, I will show you guys. Comes with a manual. A lot of people are complaining about the manual themselves, but here's what you get in the box. You have for your remotes. You have hose connectors, your hydraulics connectors, plugs, O-rings, all your hardware, some of your hydraulic lines. You do have your handles, and I'll show you the valve. So this valve is the reason why I bought this kit. A lot of the newer ones are electronic, similar to the front third function, which is great for that reason. But when I want constant power, we have spring loaded on one end, which is great for grading and what we will be doing with our back blade. But on the other side, we have a detent, so we can leave it on 24/7 as long as needed, especially if we're going to be doing fence post pounder or something with rear hydraulics control, similar to a log splitter. So start mounting some of this up on the tractor. We already removed the rear tire, removed the seat, and yeah, we'll get to it. I do want to go ahead and show you guys one of our issues right now. So we got two hoses feeding. One comes up, comes in through the pump right there, and our other comes back and comes up on top of the trans. So the issue is our rear remote has to pump in through there. So I believe what my plan is going to be, since I'm not going to be running the rear remote in the front for now, is we're going to get a hose from here to that and that other one. We're going to run it to the rear remotes once we hook those up. And then we could just go detent on or off as we need to use the front function, because I do have those set up already in the lever, so right in the joystick. So we will get to this and get everything mounted up, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, so first things first, we're going to get these handles mounted to that valve assembly. Here's our diagram, what it's going to look like all together after the fact. We're going to get that bracket mounted on there first. Like I said, get our valve assembly mounted too, and go from there. Don't see why we can't put the handles on. We should have plenty of clearance. So we're going to get this assembled and go from there.
Troubles away, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to. For people like me, people like you, wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men know the rich men.
So before I mount everything in here, what you want to do, you want to remove that bottom banjo bolt there. Take your new one with the hose clamp barb on it, or should I say the barb on it. That's where your hose clamp is going to go. And you can get that tightened down. Alright, so we got the valve in. Did have to take off the, these might have to get bent out a little bit and adjusted. Did have to take off the caps for these valves, but other than that, got everything put down here. Got our hose line, our drain down. Got this one stubbed out. This is where it's gonna come out and come under to there. Other than that, down under here. That's that drain port. Comes through. Those are the 2 hose clamps. So we're gonna have to probably remove everything else, and yeah, keep on trucking along here. All right, so we got. Let's get some light going down here. Got the handles back on first of all. Got our tube put in. Go straight to. I did remove this one that went down there for the front remote. Pulled that hose out. Eventually, I'm gonna run that back up. Figure out a way. Like I said, I can run that rear remote or that front remote or front third function off the rear remote. Sorry about that. And this one's gonna have to get disconnected next. So, got that plumbed in. Come back here. Oops. Got our mount done. Got that plumbed in. We already got these on. I definitely recommend putting those on before. These manuals have like a before and after, like an old version. And yeah, so got that done already. That is already tightened up, as we showed you folks before. So we are up, tied up in there. That's that drain line coming down. So now, that is done. All right, otherwise, those drains can also go to that guy right there. So, all right. So other than that, we can get our rear remotes connected, and then we also have to plumb in for our bottom, and we should be good to go. All right, for the rear remote hookups, what you want to do is remove these 4 bolts. I'm going to do 2 at a time. Then you're going to mount your brackets just like that. So these are going to be nice and flush right in the center there. And I can plumb them in through the back straight to. Should give you a little bit more room if I do it this way. So we'll get that mounted and go from there. Alrighty, well we got our remote hookups mounted to our brackets. There's our, I guess, passenger side, if you want to call it. I might have to change these covers depending on where the actual hoses go in. But they do give you 4 new longer bolts compared to these shorter ones, now that you're putting the bracket on there and extending the length. So we're going to get those put on there and go from there. So these 4 bolts and the brackets just sit right on the outside like so. So we'll go ahead and get that going. Alright, so we got this one piped in. It drops down and goes that way. And I'll tell you guys right now, when you pull that bolt out, right there, let's get some light going here. 1 second. Let's just do this. Alright, so that bolt on top there, I'll point to it. Bear with me. That one up there. So what you're going to want to do when you slide that tube in there, you're going to want to keep that banjo bolt inside. Otherwise, you will not have enough room. That light position. You're not going to have enough room to put that bolt in after. And then also, buy a stubby wrench. 3/4 on there. That's going to be a lifesaver getting those in there. So, full-size wrench. You take off the fender wall too, but you're still running into issues elsewhere. You get more of a swing on a little stubby, so definitely what I would recommend. Other than that, we got to pipe in our reservoirs, and we're looking good. Alright, so now we just have to pipe in our remotes. We are looking good.
Glue back together, and breaking a man just makes him better. And do what what you gotta do. Make me the nail, you hold the hammer. Drive me straight and drive me true. Lord, build me a heart with room for forgiveness, and just let me live there for a minute or two. Make me a shovel, make me whatever, a handle on a cup you glue back together. You're breaking a man. Make me a shovel, make me whatever, a handle on a cup you glue back together. You're breaking a man, just makes him better to do what you gotta do. Pain and give me a purpose. I'll be whatever you choose. Make me a model, just use me for something more than just.
So we got the whole kit installed, got our hydraulic hoses replaced on our post pounder, and we have put in over 150 fence posts. Unit has ran flawlessly. Tractor's doing good with it. Having no issues on our whole remote system. Third function, I did not pipe in. What I am doing is running my hoses back to my rear remotes. That way I can select them on and off. I can tee them in, put them on the T ports to our rear remote. That might be my only possibility at the moment. I did not find any other ports where we can pipe in, but teeing in would be a possible solution, which would include another seal and a banjo bolt, or 2 holes on a banjo bolt, which would be a really long bolt. So figured best bet would be to run a hose from the third function up front, or that whole solenoid valve is right in the middle of the tractor, right by your right foot, and run that up to your third function with the detent. I got hydraulic, 2 levers, so 2 or 4 hookups in the back, 2 sets each. One's a detent, as you'll see in the video, and one is a spring loaded. So you can leave one constantly on or one with spring, and then I'll still have a function on joystick to use front. I don't see what I'm going to use the front for anytime soon, unless I do buy a grapple. Everything else, now with the rear remotes, will be hooked up back there. So stay tuned. If you do have any questions, concerns, let us know. And if we update any other, parts on the tractor further, we'll post some more videos. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.